Yeah. Hey guys, welcome to my channel, My Notes. So as we are doing the SQL 50 lead code study plan, we have completed the 5 problems in the select category. So if you have not seen those videos, it will be available in my playlist here. So you can check that playlist. And the next batch is the basic join. So this is where the actually problems get interesting. So let's start doing this problem. Replace ID with unique identifier. Okay. So this problem number is 1378, or replace employee ID with the unique identifier, and it's marked as easy. So let's check what they are telling in this problem. So we have a table called employees, and then it has 2 columns, ID and name. ID is the primary key, and name contains the name for each employee. That's good. And then we have the employee unique. I think that means employee unique, and then we have ID and unique ID. So it contains the ID of each employee and it has the unique ID for each of the employee. So what we have to do is write a solution to find the unique ID of each user. If a user does not have a unique ID, just replace and show the value as null. Okay. So return the return table result table in any order, and the result format is of the following. So they have given an example for us. Let's try to understand what it does in the example. So we have the employees table, and then we have the employee unique table, and then the final output is like this. So we are getting the unique IDs and their names, and wherever we don't have any unique ID, we are getting the value as null. So that is good. And we have the explanation here. They're saying that Alice and Bob do not have any unique ID and it will be displayed as null. That is because Alice and Bob are 1 and 7, and we don't have any values of 1 and 7 in this corresponding employee unique table. So that's why we are getting the values of none. So that is for the explanation. Let's start writing this code and understand how to write this. This is a very basic join, and let's start writing this code. Select unique ID and name from. So I'm taking the employees table first, and then it's up to you to decide which table you can take. And based on those tables, it will be decided whether it will be left join or right join. So yeah, it's up to you to decide. But generally, I prefer the left join because it's convenient for me, because I consider it as taking the basic table and then adding the other table to it, and then trying to decide which columns I need. So yeah, that's my style. So I'm writing employees, and I'm writing employees as E, just to make sure that if I'm using this in future, I can refer E instead of writing employees everywhere if I want to use that anywhere in future. So this is some common practices which we generally use while doing SQL code, and you can follow as well. And yeah, so we are just drawing and writing the left join employee unique as EU. So it can be of any name basically. I'm just giving random names. Employee unique, and then on condition. So always we have like this. We have the table. We have the left table and the right table. We have 2 tables. We have the table and we have the join condition, and then we have the on statement, and it defines we using which column we are actually joining the table, because we can join it based on different columns, but there are generally primary keys or secondary keys corresponding to each of these tables, and we generally use these tables to join. So in here currently we can see that ID is actually same in the both the tables. Both are having the ID column. So let's join on ID. So here, as I was telling before, here instead of writing it employees.id, you can just write e.id is equal to, you can write eu.id. So it's like we are merging this table with this table on this particular column. Okay. And yeah, so what left join does is that it gives the value of the left table. It gives the entire table of the left table, and then it gives the corresponding matching elements. So if we do like this, I think by default you should get the null values here. And yeah, let's try to run this code and check. Yeah, so we are actually getting the accepted values. Even though if we are not specifically mentioning which table it belongs to, it's actually taking and it's actually displaying the value. It's because as we can see, the unique ID is actually specific to the employee unique table, and name is specifically related to the column table. So that's why there is no ambiguity here. But sometimes we might need to use the same columns like the ID. For example, here if you want to use any ID here, if you want to try to run based on ID, if you want to turn ID here and if you want to try to run this code, we'll mostly get an error where it will say the ambiguity. Yeah, so its ID is ambiguous because SQL doesn't know like from which table it should pick, whether it should pick the column from the employees table or whether it should pick the column from the employee unique table. So in such cases, you might need to mention e dot ID or eu dot ID. It depends on you on which table you want to use. So right now it's a simple question, so you don't have any ambiguity here. So let's try to run this code again and then submit this code. Okay, that's good. And let's submit this code and check. Yeah, so we had like 25 test cases and all of them actually passed. So that is good. And that's it for this video. So yeah, this is the video where we started learning joins right now. So we have some more problems in future where we have complicated joins involving multiple tables, like maybe more than 2 tables. There can be 3 tables. So let's do those problems as well in future. And yeah, look out for more videos.